for Georgetown. This is a really solid defensive team.
Sapp unable to hit the three-pointer. Here comes Rice on the run. No numbers.
There was a time when Tyrese Rice would have shot that ball in transition opportunistically. He can hit it, but a much better decision to bring it out, run some offense, and make Georgetown guard it.
That was just for shooting, Jay Billis. Dudley 6 for 8, and Rice is 6 for 8.
I think Al Skinner would take that any ball game. These guys really do have to carry a big scoring load for Boston College to give the Eagles a chance to win. This is not a deep team.
Down to 2 on the shot clock, and it's out of bounds to Georgetown. Good defense, and finally the little man Rice went in against the big guys and couldn't get a shot off.
He was trying to take Roy Hibbert off the dribble. Again, a switch created a matchup that was favorable for the drive, but not favorable for the finish, because Hibbert did a pretty good job of moving his feet to where he could bother Rice.
Boston College now from the ACC and the Big East, Georgetown Hoyas. Hoyas winning 16 of their last 17 coming into this game with a ticket to the Sweet 16 to the winner. Ewing sets up Wallace for 3. And Jonathan Wallace, their best free throws and three-point shooter, hitting 48% on the year, rattles in a big tray. He has 15, and it's a two-point game.
Jonathan Wallace, the most efficient guard in the Big East. Terrific steal, near steal by Patrick Ewing.
And then Ewing called for the foul. It'll be his second. A reminder, exclusive interview. Secretary of Defense Robert Gates. Tomorrow morning, it's his first network one-on-one on Face the Nation with Bob Schieffer. Sunday morning.
Patrick Ewing Jr. doing a nice job at driving the baseline and almost jumping out of bounds to get an angle to the shooter spotting up in the opposite corner, Jonathan Wallace. And when Wallace gets his feet set, he absolutely drills it.
It's a play that we've noticed more and more in the tournament, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's very difficult to defend, and you can get that angle. The problem is if a defender jumps out into that passing lane, that ball's gone.
Good defense by Sapp, and he draws the foul. As reaching in to stop him was Tyler Roach. His first, saved a two-point easy layup.
Again, Georgetown doing a very nice job on the out-of-bounds underneath, forcing Boston College to throw it long, and BC just threw up a lame duck that was pretty easily intercepted by Georgetown.
Al Skinner, star basketball player at UMass, and then went on to the pros 4 years. Saw a shot of him shouting out instructions. His career as a professional ended unceremoniously with the Pistons when Dick Vitale was the coach and cut him. What does Vitale know about hockey? An 8-0 run for Georgetown, and they're back even at 39. Boston College, their 8-point advantage, their biggest lead, has melted on this streak by Georgetown of 8 in a row. Rice very patient.
Well, he got the matchup he wanted. Now he's got Jeff Green guarding him and got it into Jared Dudley, guarded by a guard, Jesse Sapp.
Rice will fire from 3. Tip not there, but Ewing is with a muscular rebound.
Jeff Green did a great job closing out with a hand up to the shooter, Tyrese Rice, and really bothering the little point guard and getting that shot off.
Boston College staying in that zone. They switched early in the game when they fell behind 12-2. Hibbert is fouled as he goes in. So the foul, second, against Terrell Blair of Boston College, and we have a timeout in Winston-Salem. A tie game, BC and Georgetown.
The war in Europe is over. The unconditional surrender.
This is our country.
After 89 years in the making, this is our truck. The 2007 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. The all-new Chevy Silverado.
Here's to men, to guys who want to spend more time having fun and less time in the men's room, to guys who want to go less at night, And here's to Flomax. In 1 week, Flomax may relieve male urinary symptoms due to BPH, also called an enlarged prostate. Flomax may help symptoms like frequently waking up to go, going often, weak stream, in 1 week. Only your doctor can tell if you have BPH, not prostate cancer. Common side effects of Flomax are runny nose, dizziness, and decrease in semen. Upon standing, a sudden drop in blood pressure may occur, rarely resulting in fainting. So when starting Flomax, avoid situations where injury could result. If considering cataract surgery, tell your eye surgeon you've taken Flomax. Could you feel a difference in 1 week? Call 877-4FLOMAX and ask your doctor about Flomax. Flomax could make a difference in 1 week.
Trying to make sense of all your insurance options can make anyone feel a bit helpless. Fortunately, that's where we come in. For over 125 years, the principal has helped make your tough financial decisions easier. So whether it's life insurance, disability income insurance, or medical coverage, we can make protecting you and yours a lot less stressful. The Principal Financial Group will give you an edge.
Buffalo Wild Wings. You have to be here.
Back with our game summary, a tie game at 39. 38 of the 39 points by Boston College from their big three of Dudley, Rice, and Marshall. And if anyone can chip in for BC, it would brighten the smile on Skinner's face.
It would certainly help, but Georgetown's done a much better job in the second half with their defense. They've been a little bit more patient attacking this 2-3 zone that Boston College threw up that really, I think, changed the tenor of the game. And Georgetown is making their muscle felt on the offensive glass. 7-0 lead in the second half in offensive rebounds for the game. 10 points for Georgetown on the offensive glass, only 1 point for Boston College.
Roy Hibbert. He's a good free throw shooter for a big guy. He's 5 for 6 today, and Georgetown has reclaimed the lead with 11:40 to go. It's the Eastern region. The winner will advance against either Vanderbilt or Washington State in the Meadowlands next Friday night. Dudley inside. Hibbert with a block. Good hustle to get back on defense for the Eagles.
Jared Dudley made a great read. Set a little fade screen for Marshall and then went right into the lane. Usually the screener is the guy that's going to be open, but Hibbert just stayed big.
Hibbert sets up Green. A good defense by Roach and a steal by Dudley. Wallace to beat. And that'll be called for the goaltend. As up high was Patrick Ewing. Man, I was mindful of his pops.
Jared Dudley just lying in wait to make that steal, and no question about the goaltend. But you got to give enormous credit for Dudley taking the ball away on that pass backward by Jeff Green. Usually you don't see Green, a very cerebral basketball player, make a mistake like that.
That big three of Boston College yet to take a breather. They played every minute.
Well, only two big guys in college basketball history have played more minutes in their careers than Jared Dudley, and that's Derek Coleman from Syracuse and Danny Manning of Kansas. Dudley is an Iron Man, never comes out.
You're talking about total minutes in a college career, but if you take average per game, well, then Dudley is then the true marathon man.
Yeah, he's like a point guard that the coach can't afford to take out.
Approaching the midpoint of this second 20-minute period, 41-41. Rice inside with a high banker, not there. And it's Jeff Green collecting the rebound. Green, who's averaging 6 a game.
And Green keeping hold of that ball and sticking his elbows out, saying if anybody wants to stick their face in here, you're going to have to taste this.
All alone is Green, and he can't hit that. This has been a subpar shooting performance by the All-America Green. He's 2 for 9.
He's had a hard time getting started. Nice pass.
And it's Terrell Blair slamming it in. And that's the first field goal by someone other than the big three in a BC uniform.
Well, sometimes you start concentrating just on that big three, and you leave open a guy like Terrell Blair, and he was wide open. No communication on the part of the Georgetown defense in transition.
Hibbert comes outside around the perimeter of that BC zone. It's Ewing deep in the corner, and he hits the three. And Georgetown back in front by 1. First points for Patrick Ewing Jr. And with a timeout, 9:04 left in the second half. What a battle here for the right to go to New York.
Buy you a Chevrolet, go buy you a Chevrolet. If you give me some of your love.
Nobody can shut that Chevy down, 'cause that brand new Chevy is mine. I like my reach down low, hey, and my top lit. Can't you see me ride 24 in my Impala with?
No, we're not the jet set, we're the old Chevrolet set, but ain't we got love?
No, we're not the jet set. We're the old Chevrolet set.
Hello, I'm a Mac. And I'm a PC.
Hi, I'm an IT guy.
Oh, what's going on, PC?
Oh, this PC's getting an upgrade.
Hey, a camera. Nice. Look at that. Where you can do a little online chatting with your buddies.
Hardly. This is for serious video conferencing.
It's cool.
Yeah, someday you'll have the unbridled pleasure of having a high-tech, expensive piece of equipment installed like this.
Actually, the iMacs and the MacBooks have the cameras built right in. You can start chatting with your friends right away. It's really cool.
Are we done?
Well, no,
Yeah, I think we're done. Thank you,
sir. Sir, you're not.
Hey there, what you doing?
I'm in MySpace.
Oh, whoa, my bad. Backing off.
No.
No, I'm updating my MySpace page on my phone.
Oh! MySpace! Yeah, Sprint doesn't have that!
Only Singular lets you update your MySpace page from your phone. Singular, now the new AT&T. Your world delivered. Now get the new Blackjack, only from Singular.
Don't you know that I'm loving you? In a God of freedom, baby. Don't you know that I'll always be true?
Need a little flower power? Our retirement specialist can help. Call 1-800-FIDELITY. Smart move.
Introducing Men's Rogaine Foam, the first and only foam that regrows hair. Easy to use, dries quickly. It could be the fastest part of your routine. New Men's Rogaine Foam. Use it or lose it.
What respect you give him? I know how you white folks get when y'all lose, but he would like to lose bad. This is our house,
Pride.
Hey, Elsa, come and swim with us.
I'll swim naked. I won't embarrass nobody.
Rated PG starts Friday.
Our aerial coverage of tonight's game brought to you by Goodyear. You see Grove Stadium, the home of the ACC champion Wake Forest Demon Deacons, and there's Joel Coliseum, capacity 14 to 15,000, and will host the next tie in the Davis Cup, the U.S. against Spain, the week after the Final Four in Atlanta. Sold out already here in Winston-Salem. Under 9 minutes to go. 44-43 Georgetown. Dudley short on that, but he was hit on the arm as he went up with a shot. Reminder, you can tell us why your team is the best. Post up now at CSTV.com. CSTV, the 24-hour college sports network from CBS Sports.
Jared Dudley doing a great job using his body to get an angle, get low post position, and taking great advantage of mismatches. Anytime he's had Jesse Sapp, the Georgetown guard, switch off onto him, he has really done a great job of getting into his body. And you can see the big three, Dudley, Marshall, and Rice, really carrying the load for Boston College, which they have to give Boston College a chance to win against an athletically superior and deeper Georgetown team.
Last foul was on Ewing, his third. 17 points now for Dudley. DC only 3 for 6 from the line. Georgetown 12 for 14. A big 9-point difference, keeping Georgetown right there at 44 all.
Terrell Blair doing a very good job defensively in this zone, really matching up with Hibbert, staying out top with him, not letting him roll to the basket and clear out space.
Sapp takes it inside, can't hit the runner, and Hibbert is fouled as he collects the rebound. Reaching in was Sean Marshall.
Well, when Sapp is aggressive, this offense against the zone much more effective. He's a very emotional player, plays with a lot of fire, and really looks to score.
Marshall's second foul, 5-team on Boston College. Georgetown with 4 team fouls. Into Hibbert. Big hook is not there, but he gets it back himself. Good work by the 7-2 center. Fought for the second chance and gives Georgetown the lead.
You expect Roy Hibbert to get the ball when it's above him, but when it was down where anybody could grab it, he was the one that was the most alert.
9 points in the second half for Hibbert after he contributed only 2 in the first half. Dudley caught by Green. Outside it's Blair, the big man shooting a little out of his range.
Yeah, that's not the shot that Al Skinner wanted, but a shot that Blair can make. It's just you'd rather have a guy like Rice or Dudley pulling the trigger.
They're going to get it into now that Hibbert again, even though Rice had deflected the pass. Hibbert able to be alert enough to get in there and grab it, and he is the hot hand. And Green! Jeff Green over the top gives Georgetown the 4-point advantage.
Jeff Green! Is there an S on his chest?
Look for the cape.
My goodness.
Second chance points Georgetown, 14-1 in this game.
That's the one in film session where they said, hey, next time, get a body on Jeff Green.
It's time to hit the road during the Chevy Spring Sales event, where you'll get 0% APR, plus $1,000 bonus cash on an 07 Cobalt. Plus, hit the road with confidence thanks to our 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. That's 0% APR, plus $1,000 bonus cash on Cobalt during the Chevy Spring Sales event. Hurry, it all ends April 3rd. See your local Chevy dealer.
Every day, Lexmark printers go to work for some of the world's most important companies. In fact, 75% of the top banks, retailers, and pharmacies use Lexmark. And now, that same performance can work for your home, too. Introducing Lexmark's new all-in-one. With professional features and a protection guarantee that includes next business day replacement, Lexmark is ready to go to work for you.
I have 2 beautiful children, a wife married now 17 years. When you're inside, cooped up in the wintertime, no. As soon as it gets warm, we're out there.
He's playing tag or hide and seek or whatever it is.
Winter's over. I put down Scott's Turf Builder with Holtz. It feeds our lawn. It gets our lawn greener, faster, and it stops the crabgrass. I'm the very first to have a green lawn after the winter. Look at it.
We're out much earlier than other neighbors.
Hey guys, time to come outside. Come on out. That's our Scott's lawn.
You give a little love, and it all comes back to you. You're gonna be remembered for the things that you say and do. You give a little love, and it all comes back to you.
If she becomes a big TV star, she'll have to pay you alimony.
And if pigs start flying out of my rear end, we'll have free bacon for the rest of our lives.
New 2.5 Men. Then get ready for a spring fling.
I like this one. She's obsessed with sex, which is perfect for me because I do not like a challenge.
A new rules of engagement after a new 2.5 Men, CBS Monday.
Was that serious?
Simon Cowell can dish it out on American Idol, but can he take it? Watch him get a dose of his own medicine tomorrow on 60 Minutes.
Greg Clark and Seth in New York. We'll bring you back to Winston-Salem after we check in on what's happening elsewhere in Sacramento. What a ball game between Vanderbilt and Washington State.
Well, Vanderbilt has really picked it up with their three-point shooting in the second half. They've made 7 of 9 to come back from down low double digits in this half. So now you go to the last 6 minutes. Vanderbilt does a nice job executing their half-court offense. Derek Byers has had a terrific game scoring the basketball.
It's a great example, Clark, of a team that can just put together a few good minutes because they're so proficient from behind the three-point line. Washington State's really been in control for much of the game. Last 5 or 6 minutes, Vanderbilt has just erupted.
Tough defense there by Washington State.
We'll keep track of that game as well as this one. Pittsburgh leading VCU 51-34 in Buffalo. Time to get you back to Winston-Salem and rejoin Dick Enberg and Jay Billis.
Boy, the Boston College Eagles, and here's a little nose-to-nose, eyeball-to-eyeball between Jared Dudley and Jesse Sapp. And the officials quickly move in and separate.
Little of that bad blood from the Big East. Boston College now a member of the Atlantic Coast Conference, and Jared Dudley and Jesse Sapp clearly were having words. They went up nose to nose to each other, and the referees stepped in. Now they're going to make sure that they have everything straight before they start play again. But you can see right around where it says ACC, they're getting nose to nose. Nice job by Jonathan Wallace to jump in the middle of those two, because neither one was going to back down.
Technical fouls on each player, and that for Boston College sends another of their starters into the 3-foul category, along with Tyrese Rice. And I mean, closeness is a good thing among friends, but in this case, hands were down, and can't really do a lot of damage when you throw your nose around, as long as it's just the other nose in the way. But that shows you the spirit of this game. It was after a rather exciting exchange underneath where the shorter Boston College Eagles were able to get the ball away from Georgetown, but not this time, as inside is Hibbert. Boy, Hibbert is really starting to feel his game, and the foul on Blair, and another BC player has 3.
Well, really a smart play by Georgetown to go inside after the two teams were separated, and you had that near fight down below with Jared Dudley and Jesse Sapp. Georgetown intelligently goes inside to Hibbert, and Hibbert, who has terrific footwork down low, was able to complete that play and now step to the line for a conventional three-point opportunity.
6'10" John Oates comes in. He's playing with 3 fouls and unable to complete the three-point play as Hibbert, but it's Georgetown with a 4-point lead. Winner to meet Vanderbilt or Washington State in the Sweet 16 next Friday night at the Meadowlands.
Georgetown sticking with their man-to-man defense. They're doing a lot of switching, which creates some mismatches. Dudley should take him off the dribble.
Over Hibbert on the fall away, but it won't go. And there's Green to clean up for Georgetown.
Georgetown has done a great job in this second half of really challenging shots. Very few clean looks at the basket, and a bad pass again by Jeff Green.
There's the cerebral Dudley making a defensive play, but at the other end, Drew, what a block by Ewing, and the scramble going into the crowd. Make that Jeff Green, who got the block, and then players with their extra effort all the way into the crowd.
Jeff Green with another bad pass. He's made a couple of those, but trying to erase the mistake. That's why pencils have erasers, to erase mistakes, and Jeff Green, the eraser by the rim.
10 rebounds, a couple of blocks for Green in the game, even though he has not scored up to his standards. All the other things are there. There's Rice from downtown. He's been quiet. Tyrese Rice, who had a big first half, and now with 18 to lead all scorers.
Jesse Sapp closing out to Tyrese Rice, but he didn't have his hands high. You've got to have a hand up against Tyrese Rice while at the same time guarding against penetration.
Sapp, Ewing, and around to Wallace outside their best three-point shooter. Green on the wing. Marshall on him. In the zone. 1-2-2. Hibbert comes out to the free throw line. Down to 4. Ewing with 3. Ewing underneath to Hibbert with a dunk. with 1 second left on the shot clock. 15 now for Hibbert, and a 3-point Hoya lead.
Georgetown showing patience, but at the same time attacking throughout that shot clock. And a nice drive by Patrick Ewing. Boston College has got some great action when Jared Dudley has been the screener. When he screens, he's able to find openings after the screen.
Rice with Hibbert, the smallest man against the tallest. Rice said, I'm getting out of here, and setting up something else with 4 seconds. Way off the mark. He's got to hurry the shot clock, and Dudley just beats the buzzer.
Jared Dudley just has a sixth sense about where that ball is going. Really followed the flight of the ball. If that had hit the rim, I'm not sure he would have gotten the rebound. But since it missed everything, Dudley was able to get an easy putback.
But there was only about 3 seconds when he got the ball, and he had to hurry it up to beat the clock. 52-51. The Hoyas with the ball in the lead. We're down to the 3:30 mark, second half. Wallace and Sapp with Ewing, Hibbert inside, and Green, and Hibbert. Another easy 2 for him as he stumbles in for the layup. He has 17-15 in the second half. Rice the other way, and he's fouled.
Boy, what a move by Tyrese Rice, following a great move on the other end by Roy Hibbert. The beautiful drop step.
Sapp with a foul, his third. All-America Jared Dudley keeping the BC Eagles close.
Yeah, with Vonage, I've had 100% reliability. It's been there when I needed it. I've never had a clear phone.
The clearness of the line is phenomenal.
The voice quality with Vonage, it's been stellar, actually. The call quality is great. Nobody asks, hey, are you on VoIP? You know, nobody knows.
It's just $24.99 a month for unlimited local and long distance. Call now and get 1 month free, including free calls to the U.S., Canada, Puerto Rico, and Europe.
Call 1-800-989-4VON.
Hello, I'm a Mac. Mac has issued a salutation, cancel or allow.
Allow, and I'm a PC.
You're returning Mac's salutation, cancel or allow?
Allow.
Okay, what gives? Mac is asking a question, cancel or allow?
Allow. He's part of Vista, my new operating system. PCs have a lot of security problems, so he asked me to authorize pretty much anything I do.
You're pointing out Vista's flaws, cancel or allow?
Allow. I could turn him off, but then he wouldn't give me any warnings at all, and that would defeat the purpose, so.
You are coming to a sad realization, cancel or allow?
Allow.
Hey, your KFC variety big box. Lot of stuff. Gonna eat that drumstick?
Yeah, it's my favorite.
Crispy strip?
My other favorite.
Popcorn chicken?
Favorite.
Matt's
favorite.
Cold
Favorite. Favorite.
Do you have a least favorite?
I'm gonna eat now.
Now get all your favorites in one box. Introducing the new Variety Big Box from KFC. Popcorn chicken, a crispy strip, a drumstick, mashed potatoes, coleslaw, a biscuit, and a large drink. Fill up on all your favorites at KFC.
Special Agent, they're trying to stop you from saving time and money on auto insurance. Here's the play.
Quote by print. Got it, Coach.
When there's only seconds on the clock, Esurance gives you a fast break.
From all the hassle of buying auto insurance, you don't have to jump through hoops.
At Esurance, instant comparison quotes let you screen prices yourself.
So you can net yourself some savings.
It's a slam dunk. Save time and money on auto insurance. Visit Esurance.com today.
Class of 94. Here I come.
When you want to make a good impression, Enterprise Rent-A-Car will pick you up free and get you going in style.
Looking good, Moose.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
The Lowe's Senior Class Award honors achievement in competition, excellence in the classroom, community service, and outstanding character. Lowe's recognizes scholar athletes who are building a bright future for themselves and their communities.
Another great celebration of March Madness today on CBS. Ohio State in overtime. Butler knocks off Maryland. Great game here, and 2 more coming up. Indiana, UCLA out in the west in Spokane, and Michigan State and the #1 seed in the east, North Carolina, to follow the action right here in Winston-Salem. Both teams now in the bonus situation. Tyrese Rice at the line. He's a 79% shooter, best on the BC club, and he makes the first. Now with 19 points to match Jared Dudley.
Georgetown's been doing a nice job going inside to Roy Hibbert. They've been very resolute in getting that ball inside. They turned into a jump shooting team after about 4 minutes in the first half. And in the second half, they've been much stronger, much more resolute, getting it into the paint to collapse this zone.
Jonathan Wallace outside. Sapp on the wing. Hibbert comes up on top. Wallace for three. And hit. Followed by Ewing. It was halfway down the hole.
The offensive boards have been very good to Georgetown. The zone takes away penetration. It takes away a lot of the cuts that Georgetown likes to run, but it opens up the offensive glass. But Ewing just couldn't get that to stay in.
Each possession precious now, and it's a turnover, and Sapp has a clear path. Almost bobbled the ball and lost it, but able to lay it in. And a three-point lead for the Georgetown Hoyas. 8 for Sapp.
A heady play by Jeff Green to throw that ball ahead to Jesse Sapp.
Clock ticks down toward the 2-minute mark.
This is where Georgetown's defense has to be good.
Marshall has to twist it away from Hibbert and misses the shot.
What a difference having Roy Hibbert in the game and engaged. He was essentially taken out of the game by his foul trouble in the first half. And in the second half, he's been an absolute force.
Only 2 points first half, 15 in the second half, and 10 rebounds.
He's changed so many blocks. Yeah, he's changed so many shots inside. Just his mere presence has made it difficult for Boston College to get clean looks at the basket.
Hoyas chewing up time on the clock, down to 7. Sapp with 5, with 4. Off the mark. And look at Green just take the ball away. +1. Jeff Green just out-muscles the BC Eagles to rip it away and hits the layup plus the foul.
Well, you can talk about his great hands, but the truth is Jeff Green just wanted this ball more. John Oates grabbed it, couldn't corral it, but Jeff Green, alert on the spot, goes after it with both hands. But more importantly, Dick Enberg finishes the play, and that's what the great ones do. They finish plays.
Oates with his 4th foul, and here's the junior from Hyattsville, Maryland, completing the 3-point play, and suddenly the Hoyas have a 6-point lead. 11 for Green in the game, plus 12 rebounds. He's a very unselfish superstar. He doesn't look at that point column, but look at it all. Like Dudley, there's so many numbers in all the columns, and a foul against Rice as Wallace has his first.
Jonathan Wallace just trying to stay in front, make it difficult on Tyrese Rice to penetrate. Just a little bit too much body, perhaps a little bit of reach. But Georgetown does not want to foul and send Boston College to the line to score with no time going off the clock.
76 seconds remain here in Winston-Salem. Rice at the line for 1-1. And he's a perfect 3 for 3 and 21 points to lead the Eagles in the game.
And Tyrese Rice is not going to be bothered by a little bit of a deficit going down the stretch. In the ACC tournament against Miami, he had 32 points in a game that Boston College looked like they had no chance to win. And through his heroics on the offensive end, really brought back the Eagles.
Small contingent of Hoya fans on their feet across the way as Georgetown brings it in. And Coach John Thompson III asks for a timeout, calls for a 30. 4-point lead, 1:03 remaining. Al Skinner, a veteran coach in his 10th year with BC. What a job he's done. And with the loss of that super blocker, Sean Williams, who was averaging 5 blocks a game in the first 15.
Craig Gumbel in New York. Check out Vandy and Washington State tied at 60, 37.7 remaining, and a timeout on the floor. We'll keep you updated on this game, but right now let's send you back to the game you're watching.
And we welcome those of you that are enjoying the March Madness on this big Saturday of action, a quadruple header and 2 more games coming up. Georgetown leading Boston College by 4 here in Winston-Salem with 63 seconds remaining. And it's been the big man, Roy Hibbert, who has answered the call in the second half for the Hoyas with 15 points, countless rebounds, and altered shots plus blocks.
Georgetown will be able to use this entire clock. Boston College doesn't want to foul here, but they do want to see if they can get a steal, but they have to secure the rebound if Georgetown gets a shot.
Shot clock at 6. Hibbert takes it inside and passes to Ewing. Patrick Ewing, and he's fouled. Oh my, what a play as Hibbert, the big man, with a perfect pass.
What an amazing pass by Roy Hibbert, but the presence of Patrick Ewing Jr. turns his back and dunks it. I think we've seen this before in a Georgetown uniform. Who's your daddy?
Well, Patrick Ewing Sr., the Hall of Famer, has to be proud of that move. As Ewing migrating from Indiana, where he played a couple of years and has found his home on the hilltop in D.C.
They need to get to the rim.
Three-pointer by Rice. Haynes will save.
Vanderbilt, Washington State back on the floor. 30 seconds to play, tied at 60.
Collision with Byers and Weaver. Look at the block.
By Clark. Talk about a big substitution, putting Clark in, and he delivers. Had 6 blocks on Thursday.
And this started out disastrous because Byers and Weaver collided. Byers is wide open underneath, and look how far Clark came from the left wing to make that block. I know he's a happy man. What a story.
All right, still tied at 60, 24.1 to play.
And at 14.1 seconds to go, the Hoyas can start making their plans for the Meadowlands in the Sweet 16.
Georgetown started off so strong in this game, but when Al Skinner switched to that matchup zone, things began to turn in favor of Boston College. But in the second half, Georgetown's defense, their work on the offensive glass, and especially Roy Hibbert inside, was a major difference in the game.
Jonathan Wallace, a rear miss for him at the line. He got the Hoyas off on the right foot. 12-2 start when they went 5 for 5. He had 11 points early, and now with 15 in the game. But it's been Roy Hibbert who has been the star of this second half, the big man for Georgetown. His presence at both ends of the court, and he leads Georgetown with 17. Rice with a desperation bomb at the end. Scramble, and Jeff Green.
24.1 to play. Let's take you back to Vandy and Washington State.
Well, Washington State has 2 guys who can create, 2 guys who can shoot it, and it's in the hands of one of those creators, Kyle Weaver. Actually, I think this is a mistake. Not that Taylor Rochester's not a good ball handler, but he's not a creator.
From the corner, off the mark by Harmeling, rebounded by Gordon. Timeout called. Did he do it in enough time before the clock went to 0? They're saying
yes.
Kevin Stallings is saying yes. There were at least 2. He thought there were 2 seconds left on the clock.
Well, it looked like when the official acknowledged the timeout, it might have been 1.5. Take a look again. Weaver gives it up. I mean, that's a good shot by Harmeling, but when you're the man on this team, you've got to take the shot. Now, no timeout called right away. As Gordon comes down, he dribbles it. Now they call timeout. Derek Byers calls it. There's about a second left.
It looked like about 1.1. You're right,
Actually, the official didn't acknowledge it until under a second. Again, a good open look. Cage gets over there late, but I'm baffled as why Weaver didn't try to put it on the floor and either try to draw the foul and get to the free throw line with the double bonus. They settled for a 3, which they didn't necessarily need. All they need is 1 point.
So the officials, again, as they've shown all game, looking to get it right, looking at the monitor to see if, in fact, there should be more time put on the clock.
See, no timeout was called right away.
But right there.
Derek Byers calling the timeout. But it's also when the official acknowledges them as well. And once he sees it, obviously there's a lag time between when he puts his hand up and says timeout. So somewhere around the 1 second mark should be the fair compromise.
And again, the officials talking it over with Mark Whitehead, the standby official over there, as well, as they look to get it right. As you said, so much riding on the line. Washington State, no field goals in the last 7 minutes and 2 seconds. Big rebound by Alex Gordon.
Yeah, I'm still baffled. You got 2 tremendous scorers and creators.
and they just didn't have a chance to do what they do. And I'm surprised Kyle Weaver gave that ball up. That's probably the habit of making the extra pass. That's the way Washington State has played all year. But sometimes you got to break those habits.
And again, you applaud the fact, and this crew has shown all afternoon their proclivity to try to make certain they get it right by taking the time at the monitor. J.D. Collins, Stephen Skiles, and Jeffrey Clark. So the compromise is 0.5. Now, I use the word compromise, but in fact, the officials are saying that's what they feel is the time. That says it all right there. So, Len, what would you attempt to do in this situation with that little time left on the clock?
Well, again, I mean, you still have a chance because it's above 0.4. Anything below 0.4, you can't make an attempt from the field. You can only make a tip in. You know, you want to get the ball at least a half court or turn and shoot or throw it towards the basket and hope that somebody's able to turn around and get it. But it's moot now.
Try to get a Christian Laettner type shot. We're going to OT here in Sacramento, Washington State and Vanderbilt.
Game is on the line. The pressure's on. Here's the situation. You've got 2 children. College tuition is in sight. Retirement is breathing down your neck.
Who do you go to in the clutch? Over 65 million customers rely on us when their money is on the line. Insurance, investments, retirement. AIG, the strength to be there.
Buy you a Chevrolet, go buy you a Chevrolet, if you give me some of your love.
Nobody can shut that Chevy down, 'cause that brand new Chevy is mine.
I like my reach down low, hey, and my top split. Can't you see me ride 24 in my Impala with?
No, we're not the jet set, we're the old Chevrolet set, but ain't we got love?
No, we're not the jet set, we're the old Chevrolet set.
In overtime, Vanderbilt and Washington State battling for the right to move on to the Sweet 16 as we take a look at the game reset. Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining.
And Vanderbilt obviously in double penalty there. Washington State will be shooting 2 each one of their fouls. Next foul for Washington State is 1-1 for Vanderbilt. But in the end, it was about defense. In the second half particularly, Vanderbilt stepped up their defense on Washington State, slowed down the big scores, and Washington State just failed to cover the three-point shooters, let Vanderbilt start gaining momentum and gained an awful lot of confidence on the offensive side, made up the difference, and that's why we are where we are now.
The Cougars get the first crack in OT. Weaver has it knocked out of bounds. 23 seconds left on the shot clock. And again, both teams battling for the right to advance on to the Sweet 16 to meet Georgetown, a winner over Boston College, next week in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nice tip pass by Cowgill to Baines. Nice strong move by Baines.
And a good judgment by Baines to wait until he got his balance and got his legs under him before he exploded to the basket.
Baines, a huge gain, averaging 3.6. He's got 14 on the afternoon. Byers, Cage, Foster, Scotius, and Gordon to 5. 3, oh, they caught it at 2. Put on the line.
But good recognition by Foster. A height advantage over the 6'1" Derek Lowe. Foster 6'6". You know, that's a mismatch that if it persists, Vanderbilt will go to it all afternoon.
This is like a good boxing match, and I've had a chance to do a few. You kind of wish it could end in a draw. Weaver. Cowgill will be called for pushing.
Yeah, that was obvious.
Robbie Cowgill with his hands down low in the back of the defender. You take a look at the foul situation. Byers, Foster, and Scooches, and particularly Byers and Foster, very dangerous. Kyle Weaver with 3, Ivory Clark with 3, and obviously Baines are key players for Washington State. But they've got a little bit of room to play with. Derek Byers has no room, no margin for error.
1-1 for Cage, an excellent free throw shooter, 85% on the season.
And here's where I'm a proponent of going after the other guy's weakness. Washington State has got to recognize that Byers and Foster have 4 fouls, and I'm surprised in their man-to-man that they haven't gone after him. Kyle Weaver particularly is being guarded by Shane Foster, and Derek Lowe being guarded by Derek Byers. It's been all perimeter for Washington State, and that may ultimately be their undoing.
Weaver with the attempted pass to Cowgill, turns it over. Vandy with the ball and a 2-point lead.
See,
3:30 left in overtime.
Weaver's got to get the mindset that he's got to make the play. Can't let other guys do it. He gave up a shot at the end of regulation for someone else. He's one of the team leaders. It's got to fall on his shoulders.
Byers kick out to Gordon for 3. Good hustle by Cage to keep it alive. And it's Weaver. 2 on 3. Smartly brings it back out. New set.
Yeah, he didn't have numbers.
Rochester, Weaver, Cowgill, Baines, and Lowe, the 5 in white for Washington State. 2:53 left in overtime. 64-62, Vandy.
Boys, Weaver picked up his dribble, very dangerous, looking to try to lob to Cowgill, but Byers playing pretty good D.
Good crossover move, out. Cowgill, count it.
And that's what I'm talking about as a creator. Robbie Cowgill gets the credit for knocking the shot down, but Weaver has to start taking over right now. He's got the skills, and he's got the mismatch to some extent.
Weaver with 7 assists. This is Byers. Boy, big-time players stepping up now.
I'll tell you, Washington State at the beginning of regulation, the second half of regulation, will rue the day that they didn't continue aggressive defense and challenge, because they opened the door. They gave Vanderbilt an opportunity to build confidence by hitting threes, and they haven't looked back.
Low. The marquee players are stepping up. Lowe with 16. Byers with 25.
Talk about marquee players stepping up. It's reminiscent of the game earlier today, Ohio State. Mike Conley with Greg Oden on the bench in overtime. Mike Conley took over that overtime. And for Washington State, you expect Lowe and Weaver to do the same.
Gordon threw it away. They say it's off of Byers. And it goes the other way.
Take a look right there. There's a deflection by Weaver. He goes after it. Whoa, I don't know. That's close.
And good call, Lynn. You're right. That was deflected. 1:33 left in OT. Vandy up by 1.
Officials got it right. It was off Byers' right hand.
Low for 3. Rebounded by Gordon. Vandy looking to expand the lead. Both teams fighting for the opportunity to advance to the Sweet 16. Gordon, Cage, Byers, Scooches, and Foster, the 5 in the black jerseys for Vanderbilt. This is Byers. 27 big ones for the SEC Player of the Year. And a 3-point lead with 49 seconds left in OT.
Plenty of time for Washington State to get a bucket. Doesn't necessarily have to be a 3.
Low for 3.
Oh, man. Do these guys want it or not?
on the shot clock. It was 5 on the shot clock, 8.7 on the game clock as it stays this end.
Buffalo Wild Wings. You have to be here.
Okay, class. If you're in the South, you say, "Hey, feller, give me a Bud Light." Hey, feller, give me a Bud Light. In New York, you say, "Hey, give me a Bud Light." You got a problem with that? Bud Light. You got a problem with that. In East LA, you say, "Give me a Bud Light, Holmes." Give me a Bud Light, Holmes. More importantly, if somebody asks you for a Bud Light, you say, "Don't speak English."
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Bud Light? Bud Light. Bud Light. Bud Light.
In overtime, Vanderbilt up by 3. You see the game reset there. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. 8.7 on the game clock. Vandy with some options here, Len.
Well, certainly every coach has in his back pocket an inbound play that many times confuses the other team. Maybe they haven't seen it. And if not, you got to get it in. But watch Alex Gordon. Many times the guy who inbounds the ball ultimately winds up with the shot. There's that play.
Rochester. Blocked by Byers. 1.2 left on the clock.
Alex Gordon tried to throw it off the back of a Washington State defender. It appeared, because there's no way he would have made that bad a pass. You know, all the defenders' backs were turned to Gordon as he was inbounding the ball, except the guy on the ball, and it looked as though he tried to throw it off the back of one of the guys and step in. Well, this is a replay of the block right here. And we told you how multifaceted Derek Byers is. Again, Byers in good shape for the block. Rochester never saw him.
And again, as we take a look at this, the officials is trying to make absolutely certain that the clock is correct. Time left, the game clock.
It looked like 1.9 when that ball went out of bounds.
I would think so as well, too, Len, yeah.
It's at 1.5. I'm always off a few tenths.
Well, that was good because it showed 1.2, but that was it accurately. So 1.5. Do we head to double overtime?
Well, once again, same situation as the end of regulation, except a little bit closer for Vanderbilt and a little more time. This time you got an extra second.
Ross Meltner at 6'9", the inbound to give him a little height, but Baines at 6'10", defending the inbound pass to Byers. Out of bounds, off of Byers with 1/10 of a second left. What's the call?
Your guess is as good as mine. It looked like the ball was going out of bounds, and the official raised his hand. Now the question is, how much time is left on the clock once again? I'm not even going to venture a guess. I'm going to let them figure it out. But take a look. Clearly, Byers dribbles. There's a bit of contact there as the ball goes off his foot, and the official's hand is up with about 3/10. I said I wasn't going to guess, but I can't help it.
But I tell you what, Len, as you take a look at the replay again, watch the ball hit the right ankle, inside ankle of Ivory Clark right there, and then back off of Byers, did it?
Yep. It's clearly off Byers. Question is, when does the official raise his hand? 3/10 of a second.
Well, I'll tell you what, the standby official, Mark Whitehead, may as well be called Judge Whitehead today. He's been used quite a bit. And no matter what you say, Lynn, this is what's to be done to get it right.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much at stake right now, and thank goodness for a replay opportunity. So I say .4. See, I knew I was wrong. His hand went up.
Well, now they got the time right, but did they get it right in terms of?
Well, see, here's what's significant. If it was .3 or below, the only thing that Vanderbilt can do is throw it up towards the rim and hope for a tip-in. With .4, which is the minimum legal amount of time that you can get a shot from the field, Vanderbilt has a chance for somebody to catch and shoot.
Well, my question was, it looked as if it was off the foot of Byers, though. The Vandy gets the ball.
You're right.
Foster for the winner. Short. We go to double overtime. Knotted at 69, battling for the right to advance to the Sweet 16.
If you could travel like this, for the same price as this, why wouldn't you?
It's the same with auto insurance. With discounts up to 40%, it's possible to get the personal service of a State Farm agent for the same or less than those other guys. Call an agent 24/7 or visit statefarm.com.
At the Gatorade Sports Science Institute, we test athletes in the lab. Because we know they'll be tested on the field. Gatorade, the most tested sports drink on the planet.
We head to double overtime. Vandy and Washington State battling it out.
Well, this is a play that caused a little bit of a clock controversy, which was caused by whether the ball, when the timeout was called, when the ball went out of bounds. But here, the real controversy is off whom was the ball. And you see it clearly hit Clark's foot, but then Byers kicks it out. And we actually agreed with that, but again, the officials cannot use the replay to change that call.
But given the change in direction of the ball, it appeared very clearly off of Byers. Washington State controls it in the second overtime. First team to finish last 1 year in the Pac-10 and go to the tournament the next, Washington State. This is low. Hit the clock up top. It goes over to Vanderbilt. What's at stake? Advancing to East Rutherford to meet Georgetown. And
Virginia Commonwealth and Pittsburgh tied at 67, under a minute and a half to play.
Will be VCU's ball on the tie-up with 1:23 left in regulation.
That shot was tentative by Graves.
$19-point Pittsburgh lead is gone. Sam Young will come in for Aaron Gray. So Anderson and Maynor in there, along with Walker, Fomini, and Pelarosa. That is the Virginia Commonwealth Ram 5. A 35-16 run by VCU.
Incredible. What heart by the Rams.
VCU has never led.
Kendall's going to have to guard Maynor here. He should back up, force him to shoot a jumper.
Walker, Fomini, Maynor for their first lead today. Pelarosa. Down court, here comes Sam Young. He flies in to tie the game at 69.
First play they've made in about 7 minutes. You've got to go deep. You've got to stretch the floor against the press if you're Pittsburgh.
Anderson and Maynor with Ramon on Maynor. 11-second difference, game clock and shot clock. Kendall on Pelarosa. A three. And a rebound by Anderson, but lost it inside and picked up by Fields. And a tie game. Here comes Fields. Pittsburgh does not have a timeout.
The 4-down play.
Fields for the Sweet 16. He tries to go inside. That was a foul. That was a foul on Virginia Commonwealth. It's on Pellarosa for the third time.
Fields showing guts also. 2-foot jump stop. Both guys fouled him, but that doesn't mean he's going to get 4 free throws. Only 2 coming for Levance Fields. There are 2.1 seconds left on the clock. A lot of drama left.
And Fields at the line. 0 of 1 tonight. That free throw was taken back in the first half. In Pittsburgh, no timeouts. VCU's got 2, and a miss there by Fields. He is a 77% free throw shooter during the season. Young gets it back. Jump ball tie-up as the buzzer sounds. Overtime. One of the great comebacks in this tournament has just taken place here in Buffalo, down by 19. Virginia Commonwealth chiseled their way back with a 51-32 run over the last 12 minutes of regulation.
Levance Fields is feeling pretty bad right now. 2 misses at the free throw line. Young got the offensive rebound, but unable to get it back up. Look at how far he puts that ball behind him.
So they're headed for overtime. VCU and Pittsburgh. Overtime in Buffalo. We'll keep you updated. Meanwhile, Sacramento, Vanderbilt, and Washington State doing battle. Let's join them.
Setting up the game for Washington State, number 32, Dayton Harmling.
Weaver, Harmling, Baines, Lowe, and Calgill, the 5 in white for Washington State. Deflected. This is Foster. Slam it home. 18 for Shane Foster. Second team All-SEC. Vanderbilt up by 4, 2:22 left in the second overtime.
And that's what I'm saying about Kyle Weaver. He's got to stop throwing the ball backwards.
Baines, lefty, misses, gets his own rebound. Own miss. Back out for a fresh set.
You know, Weaver, if he's going to pass the ball, when he puts it on the floor, he should throw it ahead of him to somebody who's wide open instead of throwing backwards.
Tough play for Weaver, picked off by Foster.
And once again, not to put the blame on Kyle Weaver, but in the end, he has got to look for his shot. 7 turnovers today, and none bigger than the last 2.
1:37 left in double overtime. Shot clock at 8.
You know, you live by your defense. This is a time when you got to find some of it. And Washington State, a tremendous defensive team.
Slapped away. Byers loses it. This is Lowe pushing it up. Weaver.
That's more like it. Bad shot. Missed, but that's more like it.
Cage with the rebound. 1:09 left. Vanderbilt up by 4.
Remember, I told you how important defense is in a tournament like this. When your offense goes south, this is the most inopportune time for that to happen to Washington State. But they've got to make another stop. As Vanderbilt, rightly so, going to a delay game, shave some time off the clock.
Foul called on Lowe, his first. 50.1 left. Can Vandy hold on to advance to East Rutherford, New Jersey? Gordon makes it a 5-point lead by Vandy. 14 of 15 from the charity stripe are the Commodores.
Make or miss, provided Washington State gets the rebound. Still a 2-possession ball game, and they can shoot the 3.
Rebounded by Baines, trailing by 5, 45 left. To the corner. Count it! Harmony. 2-point game.
About 8/10 differential between the shot clock.
And Rochester fouls Alex Gordon.
In the regulation.
Number 10, Taylor Rochester. That's his first.
Again, a 2-possession ball game. We talked about it before. The ability to shoot the 3 comes up big here on the penetrating kick.
Gordon just went 1 of 2 the last trip to the charity stripe. Misses the first offering here.
Could it be deja vu all over again? Gordon with the ability to make it a 2-possession game misses the first one.
And the second one.
Just like Ohio State Xavier, keeping Washington State's hope alive.
Can the Cougars do it? Trailing by 2. 18 seconds left. Rochester. Back of the iron. Rebounded by Cage. Up to Scooches.
Got a foul.
Count it. Vanderbilt pulls off with the victory by 4 over Washington State. Second overtime was sweet.
Just unbelievable. Double overtime. The Commodores prevail 78-74. They move on to play Georgetown. Meanwhile, speaking of overtime, 3:42 to play between VCU and Pitt. Let's take you there.
Welcoming our new audience to snowy Buffalo, New York. At the free throw line is Anderson. VCU, which was down by 19 points, 51-32, has come back. They tied the game on a 3, and we are in overtime with 3:42 to play. How did VCU get back in this game?
Pressure full court, trap people, and make 3s. Lane violation. He's going to get another shot. Mental breakdown.
This is the VCU team that took care of Duke and beat them by 2 on Thursday night here, which sent waves through college basketball. So Michael Anderson will get another try, the 6'9 junior from Virginia Beach, Virginia. The Rams out of the Colonial Athletic Association, and the Pitt Panthers out of the Big East, where they finished in second place and back at Georgetown.
This is the situation that has been troublesome. Trying to inbound the ball against 5 players, and they've done a bad job after getting it in.
Ramon at the other end, and Fields, who had a chance at the very end of regulation to put it away with free throws and could not hit.
Gray needs a touch. He's got a guy on him who's 6 inches shorter.
And the drive inside will produce nothing. Almost a steal by Maynard.
Shot clock.
It's down to 5. Fields will fire a 3. Oh, what a shot! It's a 4-point game, approaching 3 to play, and look at the inbound trouble. And out of bounds. Virginia Commonwealth will get it.
How about Fields making that 3? 3 minutes ago, he missed 2 free throws that could have iced it. And he comes back strong. That's some heart. No foul. Bodies everywhere.
That's been typical of the game. Maynard guarded by Ramon. Fields is on Walker. Fermini will be picked up by Gray. Young is on Anderson. And no one is on Pelarosa. Now they put Young over there. And Graves. And here is Fermini. Picked up by Fields, so he's gotten a 3. He's gotten a big rebound, and there's no pressure, at least until they get to midcourt.
He's going to be trapped here, I guarantee you. They're going to come after him. Wrong guy took that shot. Fermini, not an offensive option. Look at Fermini pushing Gray inside.
There's a screen by Young. Fields has room. Ramon 3 is in. Ronald Ramon has put in a triple. And Pitt has come roaring back in overtime to lead by 7. They've outscored them 9-2, 2-11 in OT. And Ramon drilling the 3.
These guys just stole your phone.
Yeah, joke's on them. We're in Italy. My phone doesn't even work here.
What about when you get back home? Doesn't work that well there either.
Ma ti vergogni sto cretino, guarda, ma non sta a perdere tempo, vai.
All right. See, the joke's on them.
Singular has more coverage in more cities worldwide than Sprint. Singular, now the new AT&T. Your world delivered. Now get the broadband racer for only $49.99.